I don't remember any of it.
You don't remember?
For you, the day bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 139. Just a reminder before we start that you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Vero at Rated G for Gamers. You can always email us at info@ratedgforgamers.com. Please rate and review us on iTunes. We appreciate all the love. I'm your host, Dave Rotino. This is my co-host, Dan, the podcaster, formerly known as Classic Robinson.
What's going on, man?
Oh, it is freezing outside right now. I don't know when winter happened, but
man up. It's not that cold.
We are in the middle of it. No. You are correct. I need to dress better, but
no, it's no longer wear t-shirts and shorts, Dave.
It is over. I still want it to be fall weather. I don't think we got enough fall.
It's still fall. It's 40 degrees in New York.
Yeah, it's still fall until the 21st of December. And then it's officially winter, but it feels like winter. It is cold AF outside. So,
but it's the wind. It's the wind. We have crazy wind right now for some reason.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely brings home the point that we are definitely out of garage sale season. Right?
I think we're still lingering on. We're still lingering on. Listen. Every time I check Craigslist, there's still a garage sale. Is at least a couple.
Listen. I don't know about you, but I do not want to be out in this weather trying to sell my old Nintendo games. All right.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? You're right. I won't be out selling my old Nintendo games.
You'll be going there to buy Nintendo games.
I will be going there to buy them. I will. It doesn't matter. I'm like the post office. Okay. Rain, sleet, or snow, I will be there negotiating.
You will do your duly appointed rounds to make it around the city and get Nintendo games.
I will find it. I will figure it out. I will find a way around.
It's the collector credo.
Is the collector credo? You know what? There it is. That is the two commandments of the collector.
The two commandments, credo. Right.
There we go.
It's a very small tablet.
It's a very small tablet.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's funny.
All right. Well, look, election day is over. Right?
Yep.
We're officially, Halloween's over, election day is over, Veterans Day is upon us. Well, actually, as of when this airs, Veterans Day will be over. It is officially Thanksgiving season.
It is officially Thanksgiving season. It's funny that you mentioned election day because it's a very funny story. Apparently, the composer of the Dragon Ball Z music is now a U.S. senator. Just let that soak in for a second.
Guess what? We're everywhere. We're everywhere.
Yeah.
Gamers are everywhere, baby.
That's
Gamers are everywhere. Now we're in the Senate.
Yeah, it's so funny. Who's this guy? Johnson is his last name. But yeah, he composed music for some of the newer
Nathan Johnson.
Nathan Johnson composed music for some of the newer Dragon Ball Z stuff. Yeah, it's very, very, very interesting. So good.
Well, he
good
did
on
the
him.
musical scores to several of like the English dubbed episodes that aired on Cartoon Network.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
Awesome. We wish him well in his new adventure.
We are everywhere. Okay, gamers are everywhere. Just like wrestlers are everywhere. And actors too. Actors are everywhere. The guy from the Cosby Show was working at Trader Joe's. Okay.
Who that Elvin, right? Yeah.
Elvin, yes. And guess what? Now they try to shame him online, right? And he's working now. He's acting. He was on Hawaii 5. No, not Hawaii 5. He was on NCIS New Orleans a couple of weeks ago, and he's working with Tyler Perry. He's everywhere now.
Yeah, man's got to work. Man's got to eat. Man's got to make money. It's you do what you got to do.
Listen, I don't want to be a security guard again, but I'm not letting go of my security guard license because you never know what can happen in the future.
Right, exactly. Things go belly up. You got a backup plan.
Yeah, how else am I going to buy all these games?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course.
And also, how else am I going to go to PAX 2019? Because it's official. We are going to PAX, baby.
Yeah. PAX East tickets dropped this week. They subsequently sold out within minutes. We got tickets. We are going all 4 days, because PAX is now 4 days. Last year they added the fourth day, which I think was a great addition, right?
It made it a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it did, but
we were really exhausted last year.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely it's a lot. It's very intense, but we had a little bit more breathing room,
Well, what? That first day wasn't as crowded as Friday and Saturday.
Right. Yeah. Saturday is the worst of it in terms of the crowds. So
big shout out to I think our first guest, Steve. Right.
That's right. Stephen Lai, episode 45. If you want to go back in the history and pull up that episode, it's a very good episode. We talked about PC versus console gaming. He's a former coworker of mine, friend of the show, and he's an exhibitor at PAX. He is now an exhibitor at PAX. Yeah, so maybe we can get him back on the show again. Talk shop and whatnot.
So we're going to PAX. I can't wait to go. It's sort of next year. Next year, it's,
2019.
It's at the end of March.
It is, yeah.
Which I don't know how I like that. I don't know if I like that too much because we're going to Boston. Well, since it's at the end of March, we're going to Boston. It may be a snowstorm, just like it was 2 years ago when it was at the end of March.
Yeah, well, it was snowing last year too, wasn't it?
No. Last year it was in April. It was the second week of April, or
it was like second weekend, 7th or 8th, I think. Yeah. It was a little bit into April.
Yeah, it wasn't even that. I mean, it was
potential
cold,
for snow is always high.
It wasn't cold. It was cold, but it wasn't as cold as the year before because we were literally in the middle of a blizzard.
Yeah.
Or nor'easter, I should say.
Right, so. And then I think the year before that, where we had to bail on walking and end up taking an Uber.
I think. The first year we went 3 years ago.
Oh, that may have been the first. Yeah, because I remember us walking down the street. We went into Starbucks to get coffee to essentially warm up, and then we're just like, yeah, no, we have to get a cab.
Yeah,
we can't do this.
That was because that was a long walk from there's the Little Italy version, right?
That's right. Yeah. Over.
We were further out. We were a little further out.
A little bit. Yeah. A little bit. Nice area though. I'll say that. And the Airbnb that we had was great. But yeah, it should be a good time. What are you most? Dan Robinson, you are now a seasoned PAX vet, right? You've kind of been in the trenches the last couple of years.
This will be your fourth PAX.
This is gonna be your fourth PAX. What are you most looking forward to now?
I like seeing the indie games. I like going in the back and going on. Well, first of all, as a tradition, the first day, as soon as we walk in the door, we got to go see Limited Run.
Limited Run Games. That's right.
We got to go see Limited Run Games.
Yep. First stop. Dan's like a little kid on Christmas morning. His eyes are so wide, looking in the glass.
Everything that I didn't get a chance to buy, right. I'm racking up my Limited Run games. So I always have a little one of those little thin book bags, right? Because I don't want to carry a big bag with me.
Yeah,
I'll be doing a lot of walking, so I have one of those little thin bags, and I just load up all the games in there. As I walk around PAX, I'm looking forward to seeing some new indie games I haven't heard. I haven't heard anything about, and I want to see if we're gonna have if Bethesda's gonna have an event or if somebody's gonna have an event sort of outside of PAX. Bethesda sort of had a free event where you got food and we got to see a couple of panels and stuff, and got to play some games.
We got a bunch of free swag. We got to play Quake Champions, I think, or I got to play.
Well, you got to play Quick Champions. I got to play Wolfenstein 2 on the Switch because it wasn't out yet, right?
That's right. That's right. You bumped into what's his name from
Pete Hines.
IGN,
Pete Hines.
right?
I bumped into Pete Hines from Bethesda. He's sort of like their spokesperson.
Mm-hmm.
So, that was cool. Didn't get a chance to get a selfie with him because he was sort of power walking around, making sure everything was going well.
Mm-hmm.
So,
mm-hmm.
I'm looking. I want to know if Bethesda is going to have sort of any announcements, or if there's going to be any events. And I'm definitely looking forward to seeing some indie games that I haven't heard for before. I mean, The Messenger, right? We played The Messenger at PAX.
Sure. The Messenger, Dead Cells.
Dead Cells, that's right.
Sleep Tight. There's a lot of good indie games last PAX. Yeah. Probably my favorite, honestly. The 4 days was great. Everything was great. We bumped into a bunch of people, and we definitely had a good time this year.
So real quick, I wanted to go over something. So IGN posted the top selling games every year for the last 23 years, right? And I don't want to go through every year by year,
right?
But from 1995 to 2017.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy to believe that in 1995, the highest selling game of that year was Mortal Kombat 3.
In 1995. Wow. Yeah.
Okay. So since 2009, okay, Call of Duty, with the exception of 1 year, which was 2013, every year from 2009, Call of Duty has been the highest selling game of that year. And it always comes out, and think about it. That game is only out for maybe 2 or 3 months, right? Because it comes out in the holiday season, and it's the highest selling game, the best selling game of that year.
That's insane. Yeah, you're right. It comes out like November-ish, right? You would always pick it up for Thanksgiving, beat it over the break. Yeah, they have
less than 2 months. It's out, and it's the best selling game of that year.
That's insane.
With the exception of 2013, which was GTA 5.
Oh, yeah. That makes a load of sense. Yeah, GTA 5 just insane. GTA 5 dropped, I believe, during the summer, if I'm not mistaken. Kind of out of the whole rigmarole of the holiday season, I think. And that game still continues to be in the top 10 or 20 best-selling games currently, week after week. Right? To this day, a game that got released 5 years ago. So that's insane.
On old gen systems, remember, it was released at the end of the life cycle of 360 and PS3.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
and then re-released for the new systems the year later. But I think that was the year that Ghost came out, right? Call of Duty Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the Ghost year, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but 2014, Advanced Warfare. The next year, Black Ops 3, and then Infinite Warfare, and then World War II.
Yep, that's insane.
Infinite Warfare, they're saying, didn't sell as well as Black Ops 3, but it still was the best selling game of that year. So I don't know. This is me, my little rant, as I don't want to go back in time and do another World War II game and do one of these old school games. I kind of want to super jump, right? And I want the fancy weapon, and I want to go Call of Duty in space. Full Call of Duty in space. That's what I want.
Yeah.
I want Halo in Call of Duty, or Call of Duty in Halo. That's what I want.
I understand. Yeah.
And it's still going to be the best selling game. Now, let's see if that continues this year with Black Ops 4, because the casual gamers aren't buying it, right?
Right. Well, there's no single player.
Well, let me just, if they are buying it, they're buying it by accident because they think it's a single player campaign, because they don't pay attention. Casual gamers, a lot of them don't really pay attention to gaming sites like IGN and stuff like that. They just know what they know. They know sports games, and they probably know, it's Call of Duty. I want to play a shooter over the holiday season.
Yeah. I like going around and mowing down terrorists, but you don't have that single player mode. It's all online competitive play, for better or worse.
Well, we'll see if it's the best selling game of this year. I think that could be Red Dead. Blow it out of the water.
It's 100% going to be Red Dead. Are you kidding me? They're smashing through numbers. They didn't do as well as GTA did opening with the initial numbers, I think, but they did do fantastically well.
Red Dead 2, I think 17 million copies shipped.
Uh-huh.
They didn't go into sold. It was about 17 million copies shipped.
Yeah, which is interesting, which is a very interesting statistic, right? When you talk about numbers, you can kind of fudge things a little bit. It's like, yeah, we shipped 20 million units. Well, that doesn't mean they sold yet, but I think those 17 million, all the units shipped will sell, guaranteed.
All right, let's talk about Nintendo Online. Mm-hmm. So, I don't think you don't know. So I didn't get the $20.
Wow, I don't know. All right, go ahead.
I didn't get the $20. I didn't get the $20 for the year. As you know, my PS Plus and my Xbox Live they're all up at some point in January. So that's how I like to keep it at the beginning of the year.
Oh, wait, folks, listeners, listen up. This is a Dan Robinson teachable moment right here. This is good. I appreciate that you do this. So go ahead.
So this Nintendo Online launched in September. Mm-hmm. So what I did was I brought 3 months? Mm-hmm. I brought the 3 months for like $7 a month. Mm-hmm. So it's September, October, and November. It'll be up in December. Mm-hmm. I will buy the 1 month for December. Okay. And then in January, I will buy for the year. I know I'm spending a little bit more money.
Right.
But in the long run, look, when we and you tried to play A Way Out the first time, mm-hmm. right? You forgot to renew your Xbox Live account.
Right, exactly. It's like, oh god,
when it was up.
Yeah, I never know when it expires, and I don't know. I probably had an old credit card in there or something, and it was like, ugh, all right, give me a sec.
So basically, I had to wait for you to renew your subscription, get your updates.
It's a pain. I have no clue when anything is due.
Yeah. Guess what?
If it's not automated, I'm screwed.
Guess what? I know that it's going to be. I know mine's is going to be due in January at some point. Mm-hmm. So I paid a little bit more money, but for the convenience of knowing that my Nintendo Online account, my PlayStation Plus, and my Xbox Live are all up in January, and I need to renew it. Mm-hmm. So.
Yes, that's super smart. It'll pay off in the long run, right? Because
it'll pay off in the long run. Short run.
January is your bill month, right? You got all the subscriptions coming in at one time. You go boom, and then they're done. You got them all taken care
of. So the little, everyone's up in a little arms still about the Nintendo Online service, about what it offers. Mm-hmm. Again, I remind people, Sony, when you first had PlayStation, it wasn't PlayStation Plus, it was just PlayStation Online. It was free. And then they introduced a subscription service, right? So Nintendo's doing the same thing. And they're giving you playable games that are emulated that you can play anytime you want as long as you have the internet connection. I know they should be able to download to your system, right?
Yeah. Why do you need to have the check? Why do you need to have the online check to make sure that you have the license or whatever it is?
I know. But they keep adding games. I think in the middle of the month, right? So November 14th is when they're adding 3 new games. Twin B, which is sort of like a shmup. I never really heard of this game.
Yeah, it's I think the subgenre of shoot 'em up, cute 'em up, right? Which is basically just a shoot 'em up with cute graphics. But it's it's solid.
Then they have
a good shooter on Nintendo.
Mighty Bomb Jack, which I remember fondly as a kid. I played Mighty Bomb Jack. I never owned it. I played it at my cousin's house, and I always thought it was an interesting game.
Yeah. Yeah, I had it for the Commodore 64 of all things, and that had a banging soundtrack. Like, I love playing that game. But
the star of the show this month is going to be Metroid.
Oh, well, come on!
The original
Metroid is fantastic. Although the first Metroid is great, it is flawed in many ways. It's a little hard to play nowadays, but very happy that it's on there.
It is flawed. I mean, this came out in '86. I was like 4 years old when it came out, so I didn't play it exactly when it came out. Mm-hmm. I did play this maybe when I was like 6, 7 years old. Yeah. I didn't get Nintendo Power. I mean, I had like the first issue of Nintendo Power. Mm-hmm. I would like have to beg my parents for Nintendo Power like every 3 or 4 months.
Right.
So I did not get the one with the map, and I was 6 years old. I didn't drawer map. I literally that was my first open world game, right? 'Cause I was just trying to explore and trying to figure out where the hidden secrets are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it lives up the test of time, right?
No. Super Metroid is definitely the definitive edition of the Metroid series. But I mean, it's still a good game. You know, it's still great. It's still really fun to play. But you know, you can definitely get yourself a little bit stuck. You can get some of the items out of order, which can screw your game.
We should get Zero Mission on Game Boy Advance, right?
Oh my god!
On original 5, because I think that's sort of the remake of the original Metroid.
It is, yeah. Zero Mission is great, and it also includes the original game if you beat it once around.
So you get to play those at some point as you eat turkey. You can play Metroid.
Right.
So Dave, as we always try to start the show, but epically fail, and today is no different.
What
have you been playing?
Oh, my favorite part of the show. Red Dead 2, surprise, surprise, right? Who is not playing Red Dead 2? Ends. Also, I'm doing it again because I messed up my run before. I'm replaying Final Fantasy 3 again on the SNES Classic. Because I'm gonna get real specific now. I'm trying to get all of the rages and all of the lores in the game, right? There's special attacks for two characters specifically, right? And you have to make sure that you encounter every single enemy type so you can learn their technique, right? And it is very easy to miss one or two. And there are points where you can only get them in this one particular spot. And if you mess up, like I did when the SNES Classic came out and I started playing it, and I'm like, I'm going to 100% this game, and I already messed it up, so I had to go back and redo it.
You were really serious about 100% in this game. I give you that. You were dead serious.
Yeah, I mean, I make up new challenges for myself every time that I play, and one of the challenges that's always on the table is I'm going to 100% the game and get all the techniques and skills and whatever. I almost did it with the Game Boy Advance version. I think I'm missing like 8 out of the whole set, and oh my god, it is a nightmare to do, but I'm gonna do it. I got guides this time and whatnot. I'm gonna make it happen.
Did you get online guide?
They are most definitely online guides. Yes.
And we're gonna talk about guides later in the show.
Yeah, we got some news on that. So what about you? I'm assuming you've also been playing Red Dead, correct?
You would think so, right?
I
have not been playing Red Dead all week.
Now, why would you not be playing Red Dead?
I didn't think I would be playing. I thought I would be playing Red Dead all week. I thought I would be a little bit further in than I already am. Mm-hmm. Maybe only about 3.5 hours into Red Dead, 4 hours tops.
Sure.
Well, this week I had a family member pass away.
Oh, sorry to hear.
So I had to deal with the shock of hearing that and going through going to the funeral and stuff.
Yeah. Understood.
And I really, I'm almost up to 3,000 games. Okay, I'm 29 and change right now. 2,900 and some change. I'm about maybe 70 games away. Mm-hmm. So it was time for a restructure of the game room. Okay, right. So I been basically taking everything down, cleaning everything up, and I got to take the AC out because I have the AC in the window. Got to take that out and make room for that under the
stairs.
Did we
not just talk about it at the top of the show how cold it is outside, and you just took the AC out?
And did we not at the top of the show? Did I not tell you that it's not that cold?
I mean, says you.
It's not that cold. Come on, power up, baby, power up. It's not that cold.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been.
Gotta get that Mega Man heat shield.
That has been an epic. It's sort of an epic reorganization. So I had to take every game off the shelf and organize them nice and neat on one side of the room, which in itself that takes like a day.
Yeah, right? Yeah. It's a
process.
I don't know about you. Yeah. It was definitely a process. I don't know about you, but I find it fun. Something cathartic about it.
It is therapeutic.
Yeah,
because I get to see. Oh wow, I forgot I had this game. Right? Because a lot of these things are double stacked, and I keep they're not out of sight, out of mind. And then, I wish I had more room to display everything. So under the staircase, I have totes of action figures from when I was a kid, still in the plastic. I never opened them.
Nice. They're cherry. They're mint.
Mint. I mean, I have comic books and cards and all my box collection. All my boxes. My Xbox One Xbox, my Xbox One S box. So I have all the boxes. That's all packed away, stored away under the staircase, nice and neat. Nice and neat to from hopefully when I get room eventually, I can display everything. So that's been dominating my time. But I have been playing the Switch, and I've been playing Nintendo Online.
Nice.
And I've been playing 2 games specifically. I've been playing Zelda, the first Zelda, the souped up Zelda with all the weapons and stuff. I miss Zelda when it first came out when I was a kid, right? So I didn't have that much of a nostalgia for it because I never got it as a kid. I always played it at somebody else's house. Really good game. And I know I'm playing souped up Zelda. I'm playing Zelda as a Super Saiyan. I'm playing as Link as a Super Saiyan. But now I understand why people really love that game. So I've been playing that. And I've been playing Super Mario Brothers 3. The second best Mario Brothers game of all time.
Incorrect. The best Mario Brothers game of all time. I think it's winning in the polls. I think it's winning in the special guest polls.
I don't think so.
More people have said Mario 3 than Mario World.
I don't think so. I think it's about tied right now.
We'll have to go ahead and tally it.
Joe made it a tie.
We'll have to tally those numbers up and get back to
We'll tally those numbers up. I'm gonna tell you why. I've been playing a lot of it because I in the past I've used the flute to pass certain worlds, and I already beat it in the Wii U, where I didn't 100% it, right? Because there's some on certain stages you can skip a board, right?
Yep.
Because there are 2 ways to move through the stage, and you can either go up or go down, and I go up and not deal with stage 6. I'll just skip the stage 7. I've been trying to 100% it now. And I got to say, one of the reasons why I love the game, don't get me wrong. And, when I say Super Mario World is the best Mario game of all time, it's not maybe the best game of all time. I'm not poo-pooing Super Mario Brothers 3. I love that game. I have big nostalgia for that game. I remember when that game came out, the craze I went bananas over that game playing on NES.
Oh yeah.
But one of the reasons why I have to knock it a little bit because a lot of the stages are really short. They're super short. They're really short and easy and easy to navigate through compared to Super Mario World where levels are maybe twice as long.
That's
right?
Yeah. That's a very interesting note about that. They're different, right? The ones in 3 are kind of bite sized. Here's a small little gimmick, and then you're in and out in like a minute, right?
Yeah, they're really quick. To where in the World you definitely had sort of like checkpoints in the middle of it because they were twice as long. Yeah. So
and not to mention the multiple exits and this and that. Like there was really a lot to it.
Yeah. So so playing it through now, it just dawned on me one of the reasons why subconsciously it's second in my eyes to World because World the levels are a lot longer and I get to enjoy those levels a little a little bit more than I can the Super Mario Brothers 3 levels because they're just super simple, right? They're just super simple and easy to beat. That's my humble opinion. But I still like the game. I still love the game, and I'm going for 100%. Wow. Until maybe I finish until I finish the game room and I go back to Red Dead, or you never know. By the time I finish the game room, Battlefield 5 will be out, and it'll be time to do my annual beat it over the holiday weekend.
There you go. Right. You're changing your bay. You're changing your woman. Right. You're jumping ship from Call of Duty to Battlefield.
I'm jumping ship. I'm a video game Rolling Stone.
There you go. And look. No shame on that. Hey, if there's no single player experience, there's no single player experience. There's no way around it.
Sorry, Call of Duty. One day I'll get it in the bargain bin for $5, just like I got Mag for PS3.
Oh boy.
But talk about a game that I am probably not going to buy. I was hyped for it at E3 when it was shown at a PlayStation conference, but it's out and it's not doing so well. So let's get into a little something that came back a couple episodes ago. Let's get into our review roundup of The Quiet Man.
Interesting.
So,
I remember hearing about this game at E3, correct?
It came out at E3, it came out at a PlayStation conference, and it was one of the games that I said, oh, I was pretty psyched for. I was like, you know what, I want to see more. But we didn't hear anything about it afterwards, right? And I think until Gamescom is when they talked more about it, and it was sort of, they said it was going to be like a $15 game. It's going to be maybe like 4 hours long. So it wasn't going to be that long. It was going to be sort of a budget title. So, we wanted to know more about the game. Like, what this looks like, it was a mix of live action, right, and game with real in-game gameplay. I mean, these are the same guys that made Quantum Break, right? So, and I love Quantum Break, even though I think it got a bad rap. I think it's one of the best exclusives on Xbox One. I know I'm in the minority over that, but that's okay. And I think one of the things that soured people to that game, I don't think it was so much the cinematic, the TV show cut breaks, like after cutscenes, after sort of every stage.
Right.
I think the boss battle was lackluster, right? The story was it was okay, right? It could have been a little bit better. It could have been fleshed out a little bit better. The acting could have, Iceman, I thought he was pretty good, right? The guy who played Iceman in X-Men, he was sort of the main character.
Oh, from like X2.
Yeah.
I
I just think the boss battle was left a sour taste in everyone's mouth. It was like,
I see. There wasn't really a big bang at the end of the game.
It wasn't a really big bang at the end of the game, but I really liked it. I enjoyed it personally. So I was expecting more from The Quiet Man. And well, you know what? Let's just get into it, and I'll get into sort of the plot of what The Quiet Man is about. Metacritic scores are in. They aren't too good at all. The PC version, Metacritic scores are 43. And the PS4 Metacritic score is a 33.
Wow, no Xbox, huh? Interesting.
No Xbox. I didn't think this was a sort of. It's when I say PS4. Next, I know it wasn't exclusive because usually things come to the PC too.
Right. I mean, in like the console world, it's exclusive.
Yeah, I could have sworn it doesn't come to Xbox, but I could be wrong. I mean, they was shown at the PlayStation event, right? It could be a timed exclusive.
It could be.
IGN gave it a 5.5, which is mediocre. GameSpot gave it a 2, which is terrible. Push Square, which is a PlayStation centric website, gave it a 2, and Destructoid gave it a 4. However, the outlier here, usually I'll say, for Red Dead, I give the outlier, give it a bad score. Here, the outlier here is digitally downloaded it. They gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, which is an 8. They thought it was sort of innovative and thoughtful. Now, Quiet Man, the first 5 minutes, you get voice acting, and then it goes silent. Your protagonist, I guess, can't hear anything,
right?
And you can't understand the story. So you sort of left to your imagination what's going on, what's happening in the story.
Oh, so the dialogue is all like you see people talking, but you don't hear people talking.
You don't hear people talking.
Wow, that's fascinating.
And afterwards, after you beat the game, you have to play the game again because then you'll get the dialogue. And then you can actually understand what the story is about.
Oh, that's kind of interesting.
So I think the concept is cool. In theory, I think the execution is poor.
Yeah.
People like Spawnwave said he did a let's play of it, and sort of he was not too happy about the mechanics, the controls of the game, and the combat. So
yeah. So I mean, respect on the let's kind of flip the table over and try something new. But if you're gonna do that, you got to know what you're doing.
Again, I think the idea, the concept is pretty cool. I think they could have flushed it out more with, okay, what are the cues, right? Like the visual cues, I think digitally downloaded it thinks, they they thought it was innovative because the visual cues were there.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you couldn't understand them, you can sort of make out the story from the visual cues. That's like a Steven Spielberg, right? He always lets you know where you are, right, in the world. He'll panorama a street sign or something, so you'll know you're on this street. You know you are in this house. He used visual cues to explain the story, to move the story along, and that's what made him famous, especially those early Jaws movies in the 70s. I think if they would have put a little bit more work into the mechanics of the game, of actually playing the game, and not so much the Telltale style of visual cues, like of telling a story without words. It's still first and foremost a video game, right? Where we're playing. It's not a TT game. Where you're not, you're there just for the story. You have to get the combat tight first, and then you can sort of bring this concept of visual cues, of where you're not actually hearing what they're saying and understanding what they're saying.
Yeah. So I mean, you think if they took a little more time, they kind of went back to the drawing board a little bit, they could fix this up?
And I think they knew what they were doing, because it was a budget title. I think it was like $14, if I'm not mistaken. Right. 14. I think it's 14. It could be 20, but I know it's still a budget title in that range.
Right.
So it tells me they didn't really have faith in this concept either, right? For it to be that short and that cheap.
Well, yeah. I mean, there like kind of is also like budget. Like, okay, we only have so much money. We're going to make this kind of game.
Well, they could have Alan Wake, a sequel to Alan Wake, in the mix, right?
It's true.
This could just be a money grab to maybe help finance that.
Right.
All right, why don't we take a break? And when we come back, we'll get into the top 10 gaming news stories of last week.
And in the lead story, there is there's some news coming out of Riot Studios, the company behind League of Legends. There is a gender discrimination lawsuit, which we will get into.
And we're back. All right, let's get into the top 10 gaming news stories of last week. So Microsoft just had its XO18 in New Mexico. Needless to say, the internet's not happy. Everyone seems to be disappointed. Seems to be the general consensus on the internet.
Now this is the XO is brand new, right? Even though it's XO18, this is like a new thing, yeah?
No. Microsoft had XO back in the early 360 days. I think they had it in Mexico 1 year back in like 06, 07, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay,
so this is not a new thing. They just something that they brought back.
Yeah.
They haven't had it in a while.
Okay.
So, and the funny thing is, I was watching RGT85. He had a rant video saying how much he was disappointed over the show, and how he watched the show over again and just so you know, when they had the show, everyone was going crazy, like Xbox, right? So there are reports that New Mexico really is an Xbox town. Like, they love Microsoft, they love Xbox. That's why I think they did the show from New Mexico before. But RGT85, he looked at the video again, and he would see the producers in the crowd getting everyone hyped at certain times, right? So
interesting, right? So I mean that happens everywhere, but
that happens everywhere. I don't think that's exclusive to Microsoft and their XO event.
No,
right? So I just thought that was funny, where he sees the guy in the crowd who obviously is a producer, because he's throwing his hands up in the air trying to get everybody up and crazy. Xbox. And I will say they went crazy for just the mundane things. Just like, why are they screaming Xbox? He's like not saying anything right now. So I get it. I wasn't disappointed. You know why I wasn't disappointed? I didn't have high expectations. everyone says this was super hyped. I don't think it was super hyped. They hyped up. They hyped up just another Xbox Live show, right? That was in front of a live crowd. I didn't think we would get crazy super announcements. I didn't think everyone is expecting E3 or PlayStation experience.
Yeah, right. I mean, there's a reason Sony's not doing it this year because they don't have a lot of stuff to show. They're like, we're not going to do it, right? Microsoft's thing, by all accounts, is definitely not that. Yeah.
So this is just another Inside Xbox with a live crowd, right? Inside Xbox hasn't been, it hasn't been exciting, right? It's more of a marketing ploy, and this was 100% marketing for the holidays. Okay, so let's just jump into it. So they announced, one of the first things announced was PUBG was coming out in Xbox Games Pass
right
this month.
That's awesome.
It's one of 16 games that they announced that are coming to Games Pass. I'm not going to get into all 16 because a lot of these games I have no idea what they are. But you got both Ori and the Blind Forest, Ori and the
Ori and the Blind Forest.
Ori
and the Blind Forest.
Ori. Well, you know what?
It's right up there with Breath of the Wild. Let me tell you.
Well, you know what? Breath of the Wild was your thing. Give me Hori.
No. You were the one who said it.
No, I did not say it. Look back at the go listen to those tapes. You said it, and you made me say it because it was subconscious. All right. So give me Hori, okay? I like Hori. That's the PlayStation version. Ori in the Blind Forest, and the new Ori game.
Yep.
That was Willow Wasp and Willow Wasp or something.
Willow Wisps or something like that.
Yeah. Willow Wisp. Yeah. There it is. Which is not even out yet. It's coming out later. I think it's coming out later. I think it's coming out later in December, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. No. First game, amazing. New game looks amazing too.
So both of those games would be out on Games Pass, but PUBG is coming out. Some people speculated that it's only coming to Games Pass now because the exclusivity for Xbox is up, and because it was rumored to be coming to PlayStation in December. Right? So maybe Microsoft wants to get ahead of that and say, hey, you can play it for free if you have Games Pass. Right?
Yeah. No, I mean, it makes sense. Smart move. Smart business move to do that, And you also strengthen the brand of Games Pass. You're getting more people onto the platform, more games to play. I mean,
They have a new game called Void Bastards. Yes, you heard me correctly. Void Bastards.
Void Bastards. Yeah, I saw the trailer for this. I am super hyped.
Sort of like a comic art style, right? Shooter. Coming out in 2019.
Yeah, and actually, the art style reminds me of, I don't know if you remember that game 13 that came out. 13. Came out on like the PS2 and Xbox, I think, and maybe even GameCube. And it's apparently, I think it was based off a comic, and it has that style, that kind of like cel shaded style.
But this is the director of BioShock, right? He's one of the directors of BioShock.
One of the directors of BioShock. Yeah. Not the main dude. That guy escapes me his name, but the co-director, I guess. I guess he is the director versus the creator of the series and whatnot. But yeah, I mean the guy who's doing this worked on BioShock and System Shock 2, which are classics.
So that's coming out. Then we got into some Crackdown news, right? That was sort of the big game that they were pushing.
Yeah.
Crackdown, it's playable there. It looked good. To me, it looked good. I know a lot of people, RGT included, weren't so crazy about it. I want to before this game come out, I want to play Crackdown 1 and 2.
You're not, I mean, sure.
It looks good. Terry Crews is in it. I want to play Terry Crews.
Terry Crews is awesome. Yeah, Terry Crews is great.
I saw Crackdown back in the day when we were both at Circuit City. Crackdown 1. So I saw some of the guys playing it back in the day.
Well, they had a Crackdown 1, most notably, was known for the fact that you got multiplayer access to Halo 3 if you bought Crackdown, right? You could do a little like beta test. You get like a key, and you can play for a couple of days. So that shows you how long ago this was.
So I've played Crackdown 1, but that was a long time ago. So I want to just refamiliarize myself with the Crackdown series.
Yeah. The games are, by all accounts, the games are super fun. You basically free roam around a giant city, and you turn into a superhero, basically, right? You get, superhuman powers to jump super high and far and punch through walls.
Well, people are really high on Crackdown 1 than they are on Crackdown 2. So I can't wait. And right now, if you want to play Crackdown 1, it is backwards compatible, and it's free until November 30th. So go download that right now.
Very nice.
And they actually displayed the Wrecking Zone, which was a two teams of 5 agents go against each other, right? So they definitely wanted to showcase that multiplayer. So, and Crackdown 3 is coming out not February 22nd with Anthem going against Anthem, right? And Metro Exodus. It's coming out a week prior. It changed the release date to February 15th.
Smart move. Super smart move. And it basically tells me two things. Microsoft knows that Crackdown can't compete with the other 2 games, right? And that the game, I think, now is back on track and development is going well, that they can push up the release by a week and still be good, right? So then you kind of get ahead of all the other sales.
You know what that tells me? You know what it tells me something different. It tells me Anthem is going to be a beast. Everyone thinks Anthem is going to be a beast. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, Sony moved Days Gone out of that February 22nd spot, and now Microsoft is backing down and moving Crackdown on it, and they're moving that up. They want people to play Crackdown for that week before they get into Anthem and Metro Exodus. And I think Metro Exodus is going to be the odd man out on this. I think Anthem, it's Iron Man and Destiny, right?
Yeah.
So
giant Titanfall robots, like, sure, I'm in.
So I think Anthem is going to be a beast, and I think that's what this tells me. Anthem is just, I'm more excited for Anthem now that all these other games have moved out of the way.
Yeah.
So another game for Games Pass, Hellblade: Senua Sacrifice. So that's come out for Games Pass.
This was a PlayStation exclusive?
This is a PlayStation exclusive until Microsoft went and bought the studio.
Yep. It was digital only. Microsoft buys the studio.
It will be coming physical to Xbox and PS4 in December. So I think they wanted to get ahead of, and he did mention, Phil Spencer did mention that this will be coming to PlayStation physically during the XO conference. But I think they wanted to get ahead of that because it obviously, since it is coming out for PlayStation, they want to get ahead of that and announce it for Games Pass. So I think that was the big game that they really wanted to tell people that was coming to Games Pass. You could play Hellblade for free. Well, if you have Games Pass, $10.
Yeah, right.
$10, unless you subscribe now in your first month, you'll get for $1.
There you go. They want people on board, but why not? Why not just have a free month? Why even bother charging $1?
Yeah, you know what it is. I think, I don't know, because free sounds better than $1.
Yeah, 100%. First month free. Right?
Yeah.
A little taste. And then, then you kind of get them hooked.
Yeah, I don't know. What's up with $1?
Well, I'll tell you this. One thing I do know about the $1 purchase, that means they have your credit card, right? Sometimes with the, first month free, they don't necessarily ask for your credit card up front, So maybe that's it.
True.
They're like, well, you're already in the system. You'll just, we'll just go ahead and keep charging it. And it's fine. You'll give you all the free games you want.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? And even though it's free, they could still get your credit card. They can.
Well, it's true. It's true. They could.
They could still say, we still want your credit card. But all right. So we got some exclusive. We got some trailers for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yep.
But more notably, they did have someone from Square talk about Kingdom Hearts 3, but before he ended the interview, he wanted to talk about Final Fantasy. I know Dave's favorite franchise of all time.
That's right. That's right. My favorite franchise, Final Fantasy. Right? Say that 5 times fast.
Say that 10 times fast.
Yeah, right, right. So, I mean, we got some news on the Switch about the Final Fantasy titles coming out, right? And that was kind of big. 7, 9, 10, I think also 10-2. And I think they also, in a 12 too. So I think all the games that they announced for the Switch are now also going to be on Xbox Live Game Pass, right? Which is great.
All the games that they announced for the Switch are coming over to Xbox next year. I don't know if they're going to be in Games Pass. I think they would just be games you could buy on Xbox.
Right. So they're not necessarily they may or may not be part of Games Pass. I read that wrong.
Yeah, but they're coming. They're coming to the Switch. I mean, they're coming to the Switch. You talked about the Switch. They're coming to Xbox next year.
Yeah. Which is great. Right now, you can play Final Fantasy IX, the remake or the kind of upscaled version of it on PlayStation, which is fantastic. I wish they had a physical for that. I don't think they're going to put a physical out for that. So, yeah, probably not going to hold my breath on that. But
then they had an in-depth look at Devil May Cry 5. I thought that was awesome because, Devil May Cry more now, you have to grind to get, points, get your devil points or cry. I'm not a big Devil May Cry. I'm not a DMC guy. I'm just not the series for me. I do like the look of Devil May Cry 5, and I will buy this day one to play it because I definitely want to get into it. I actually do have the remake. The remasters on the Xbox, so maybe I'll boot that up at one point when we have a blizzard. But
it's coming. Winter is coming.
But it's all about combos and style points.
And I think that's always been that's always been a key part of the franchise, right? Like, how big of a combo can you do, and how stylish can you make it? That's like a key gameplay component, and it's great. It's really fun to kind of run around and just start tossing them up in the air with the sword, and then using the guns to juggle them, and then back to the sword, and then flipping off the wall.
But I think you told me that this was my type of game. Like,
100%
series is like my type of game. I just never got into it.
Yeah. Like you are shoot 'em up, bang bang with the guns, and forget about all that stealth stuff. This is that to 11. It's crazy.
All right, I'll definitely keep that. It is on my top list of games that I need to play before my birthday.
Dan Robinson, top 5 games must beat before my birthday.
I got top 20 list, 25
top 20.
List.
All right, there you go.
Top 25 list of games I really want to play and get into before my birthday.
I should probably do that. I should probably do that. Make a bucket list of games that look, you should really either play or beat all these games. We
should make that a combo of the week. We should make that a combo of the week one of these days, one of these episodes. Yeah. But our top 25 must-play games before next birthday, because you never know what can happen.
Exactly.
Life is too short. I got to beat Devil May Cry series. I got to play the Devil May Cry series.
There you go. Get after it.
Games that we played together. Also is a game that's coming. It's one of the 16 games that are coming to Games Pass, and that's Aftercharge. We played it
at Penny Arcade
earlier this year.
That's right. Our team won. We dominated, by the way.
We dominated. It's one of those. If memory serves me correctly, we had to play offense and defense, right?
That's right. So it's 3v3 attack and defend type situation. There's key points or nodes on the map that you either have to attack, destroy, or defend. And we ended up sweeping the series. Yeah,
we ended up sweeping the series, and in your face, PC Master Race, I played in mouse and keyboard for the first time, and my team won. Look at that. Look how skilled I am.
That's right. Tip of the hat. We couldn't have done it without you, Dan.
I was the scapegoat. I attracted everybody. Everybody was shooting me from everywhere.
You're like, hey guys, over here.
And I was like, snipe them, guys, while I'm distracting them on purpose.
Ah, it's beautiful.
I know. Look at that. I dominate. Now I need to play an MMO, and I'll dominate that. You know why? Because I'm the dominator.
All right. Let's not get ahead of yourself here. One step at a time.
get my mouse and keyboard. And you know what? Now I get practice with my mouse and keyboard. I don't need a PC because now they announced mouse and keyboard support for the Xbox One.
Oh my God! Interesting. Yeah, I mean,
also,
we've seen this. I mean, hell, it goes all the way back to the Dreamcast and the PlayStation 2. You know, there was definitely a keyboard for the Dreamcast, not really used for a lot of games, but they had it. They had mouse and keyboard support for the PS2. I think, Unreal Tournament. I think the port of that had mouse and keyboard support. It's never been great. You know, I'm assuming this is going to be like across the board. You can plug in any keyboard, and it'll have compatibility, right?
Yep. And they actually partnered up with Razer to make custom mouse and keyboards, specifically to work with the Xbox One. They didn't give any more details other than they'll show it off at CES 2019.
Sure. So it'll probably have like the Microsoft, the Xbox controller specific buttons on there, right? The giant jewel in the middle and whatnot, and probably like quick bar icons to get to the different, like, oh, here's your profile, your messages, your whatever, So, cool.
And they did announce a bunch of games to work with mouse and keyboard support, but just to name a few, Warframe, all right, that's coming out, and I mean, that's coming up in it's been out for like 4 or 5 years, right? So it came out
free to play
with the system, free to play with the system. Is now it's on the Switch.
I have it downloaded, still have not played it.
I've played a bunch of it on the PS4 back in the day.
Yeah. Did you like it? It was good, yeah?
Yeah, it was okay. I mean, it kept my attention for a couple of weeks, and I just never went back to it. DayZ, mouse and keyboard support, and Fortnite.
Oh, very nice.
So, but one thing to mention when you play Fortnite with mouse and keyboard support, don't worry. If you have mouse and keyboard, you will be playing against other players with mouse and keyboard, but not controllers. They made that. They made a point to say that.
Oh,
so
that's actually real interesting, right? Because they have crossplay at the moment, right?
Yeah.
Then I'm assuming that they already cordoned off people. Well, okay. I'm assuming two things. I'm assuming that the PC version has controller support, and that they cordon off people because there was no mouse and keyboard support before for the console versions, right? And because you can do the crossplay and all that stuff, like you have to be able to play with the controller on the PC, and they like probably put you in that bucket, right? So, as we all know, like mouse and keyboard is, you can go from one end of the screen to the other in like, a tenth of a second. The controller takes a little bit longer because there's that kind of momentum, You're not going to get like flung all the way to that part of the screen. You would throw up from all the disorientation. So like, PC has, or at least the mouse and keyboard setup always has a little bit of an advantage. So good on them for doing that,
Just makes sense.
Yeah.
And they dropped a little bombshell. I got to say, there's a little bombshell. I think I think this was the biggest news, in my opinion, of the EXO event that everyone just overlooked. We had Summer of Arcade back in 360 days. Now, in Xbox One, we're going to have Winter of Arcade, and it's coming out in December.
There you go.
Well, winter if you're over here on this side of the world. Okay, if you're in Australia, it'd be Summer of Arcade for you.
Yeah, there you go. Right? Yeah, it's weird how that works.
Yeah, because when it was the Summer of Arcade for us, it was the Winter Arcade.
Winter of Arcade for them. Yeah.
So they didn't announce any games that are coming out for Winter of Arcade, but they did say that they will be announcing games at the Game Awards this year. So keep a lookout for that, December 6th, online. Interesting. And then they also announced a new mobile app, which I thought was funny because they showed it on the iPhone. We're at a Microsoft event, and they showed this app off on the iPhone where you can browse games on Games. It's a Games Pass app where you can browse games on Games Pass, and you can actually download games to your Xbox One from the app. So it was just an app just so you could see Games Pass games.
Well, okay. Wait a minute. I'm actually looking at my phone right now. I am looking at the Xbox app currently. Why would they make another app specifically for this one specific feature, this Games Pass? Why not just integrate it into the regular app?
That's a good question, and I don't know.
I mean, like, obviously there had to have been some technical, logistical thing that they just couldn't get around, and they're like, we're going to make a separate thing as opposed to, I'm like looking at the drop down menu right now. I definitely don't see anything for like Games Pass yet or anything like that. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird.
You know what? There's an app for everything, right? They want to, when you type in Xbox, when you're looking at apps, there'd probably be 50 Xbox apps there that does everything for you.
Yeah. Hell, there's an app. There's an app that tells you it is so bad. I think it's Los Angeles specifically though, but there's an app you can download to figure out where piles of crap are.
Okay, that's a little weird. And
I kid you not. Well, apparently the homeless problem is so bad over there that they have like a crap mapper or whatever. I forget what it's called, but it's something like that. That'll basically tell you like, look out, there was a pile of poo 500 feet ahead of you or whatever. Yeah.
That's
weird.
a thing. That's a thing.
Well, you know what? Go ahead and download that app.
That's a weird. You know what? Listen. Whatever, everyone's looking for that next big boom, right? So,
yeah, there you go. It's right on the ground in front of you, 500 yards.
This crap app could be that thing that makes someone millions.
Oh my god. Yeah. I just, somebody said, look, this is necessary, right? We have to make this app. It's fascinating.
All right. This, like I said, XO was one big marketing showcase for the holidays, and all throughout the show they sort of had commercials by Major Nelson promoting Black Friday and Xbox One bundles and Xbox One X and S discounts, $100 off each. So they're really gearing up for the holidays. I'm going to suspect that $100 off is going to be something that's going to be a mainstay. I want to say there'll be $100 off just for the holidays, right? It'll go back up to normal price, and before E3 or by E3 or during E3,
they'll have a permanent price break.
They'll have a permanent price break of $100 off.
I would 100% concur, especially if they're saying, "Hey, look, here's our new teaser for the Xbox Prime or whatever they're going to call it."
Oh, come on, have some conviction. It's the Prime. It's the Prime, Xbox Prime, the XP. Come on.
It works.
It makes sense
on every level. That is going to be the name of the Xbox. Mark my words.
All right, so we didn't get any new game announcements. Everyone was, they said there was not going to be any Halo news. We didn't get any Gears news, Gears 5, because they dropped Of War.
We didn't get any more Funko Pop reveals.
We didn't get any Funko Pop reveals. But they did end the show with a couple of acquisitions, and Microsoft brought In Exile, right? The makers of Wasteland, and something that's been rumored forever that they made official. They purchased Obsidian, people who made Knights of the Old Republic and Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah, so which are both fantastic games.
So these are RPG powerhouses, right? That are going to be with Microsoft, and they add to how many studios, like 10 studios at this point that they purchased, right? And they also said that they will be running all studios independently, so they can keep they can keep their culture, how they do things, run it all independently, make what you make.
It's to bring up football, it's a rebuilding year, right? Microsoft is putting down the bricks, getting that team together. It's all gonna come together in a couple of years.
Yeah, that makes sense. All in all, I thought the show was okay. It was too long, but Inside Xbox is usually that long anyway. I didn't have high expectations because I know it was XO18, but it was also Inside Xbox, right? It wasn't something different.
Yeah,
it wasn't like, hey, this is XO18. Aside from Inside Xbox, they were the same to me. And Inside Xbox is just the one time a month where I get all of my, I know I can find out what's backwards compatible, and I find out little things about what's happening for Xbox. Nothing major. So it was the only difference is they had a live crowd So I didn't think they hyped it up too much, but other people, I guess, hyped it up in their own minds, and that's just my opinion. I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was as bad. Let's stick with Xbox and Microsoft. So Microsoft, just like Apple, has their huge new building that they're building. Right, Microsoft is doing the same thing. A new campus out in
Redmond, Washington.
Redmond, Washington. $2.5 billion. Right.
There you go. It's like a football stadium. It's a lot of money.
So they're building.
Think about all of the copies of Little Samson, you could buy
in box.
2.5 billion in box. Yeah, in box. You have all of them. You can have all the copies of Little Samson for that amount of money.
I can have all the copies. All I want is 1, and I want Chippendale Rescue Rangers 2.
Oh, there you go.
2. In box, sure. Man.
Flintstones Dinosaur Peak, baby.
I want that
Blockbuster exclusive. Ugh.
I still have my Blockbuster card, by the way.
Hey, there you go.
When I was a kid.
That's a piece of history.
Mm-hmm. So they're building this new construction, this new structure that will be finished by slated 2022. All right. Hopefully Xbox Prime will be out by then already. It looks like they sort of constructed what the building will look like in Minecraft to show all the workers. I thought this was cute. Everybody's just like, why? This is kind of weird. Why would they do that? It's like 500-acre campus overhaul, and you're making it in Minecraft.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that serious because they said to show, they did it to show the workers, sort of what the building, what the structure would look like.
A little like here's a little inside baseball. Here's what we're working on to get people hyped up, and they're using their own product to do it,
I thought it was cute. I didn't think it was serious. I think people were taking it too seriously. I didn't think it was that serious. I think it was just something cute that they wanted to do with, Minecraft, something that they own. I'm sure they will have 3D models with actual, programs that will have a 3D model of what the building will look like. The closer we get to, when the building is ready. So I'm not taking it that serious. I think people are up in arms over anything nowadays, I tell you.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't really see anything wrong with this. I did find it interesting that they hired a company that works primarily within the Minecraft world to create these sculptures, buildings, things, or whatever you want to call them. Which is wild to see that there's a company that does that. Weird.
All right, so let's get into our lead story. Let's get serious for a minute. Talk about people taking things serious. This is serious. Riot Games has been hit with a gender discrimination lawsuit. So basically, violation. They're basically saying they're in violation of California Equal Pay Act, and sort of there have been claims of sexually hostile workplace. They're asking for compensation in the form of unpaid wages, as well as damages and other penalties. People are saying when teams are formed, there are no women on those teams, and the women who do work there aren't being properly promoted or compensated for their hard work.
Right. So it's it's kind of the situation of like the most qualified person for the job. In this case, isn't getting the job in that case, and that's kind of like part of the lawsuit and whatnot. Now, full disclosure, I will say. I do have some friends who are current and former employees of Riot Games. So I have heard kind of some stuff in passing and this and that and whatnot. Some of this stuff can be corroborated. Obviously, kind of leave names out of the situation on kind of all accounts and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, when you deal with a company of this size, right? There's definitely going to be some bad apples. It feels like it's more of a company culture. It's kind of a bro culture and whatnot, right? Men are hoisted up over the women and whatnot. And, that's just not cool, right? Especially if the woman who is up for promotion going against the guy, for the, same position is being passed over when she is clearly more qualified, Like, that's the thing. Like, it should be an even playing field across the board, right? So that, that definitely sucks. Good that they're kind of fighting the good fight here. So I think we can throw our support behind him, right? You know.
No, I agree. If these accusations are true, then I 100% support them in their efforts.
Yeah, and like another thing too, like there was some PAX West controversy.
Oh, get that PAX Wix. Get that
PAX Wix. Yes. The PAX West. They had some issues where they kind of tried to course correct, and they had an event that was exclusively for women and non-binary people, right? People that are, transgender or gender fluid or this and that, right? And it was supposed to be all about diversity and inclusion, which I kind of get, why they were trying to make it a safe space for these people and this and that.
But you can't not include everyone if it's about inclusion. You can't exclude people because that goes against what the whole event's about.
Right. And like, some people will kind of argue where like, whoa, look, there's obviously certain groups that have had it better than other people for the longest time. And, there's been kind of this bit of, well, you're not fitting in with this particular group or whatever. So we're going to kind of like subconsciously treat you a little bit different and whatnot. And they're trying to say like, hey, look, like, we do appreciate you and all that. But yeah, then you're just like, well, you can come, but you end up you can't come, and that kind of goes against their whole message. So who knows? That got a lot of fire. So we'll see. I mean, I think we'll definitely be following up on this as more news kind of rolls out about this. Riot's definitely been in hot water before, so I don't think this is going to go away anytime soon.
Also, let's get into another big mess the internet went bananas over.
Controversy abound this week or last week.
And that's Diablo. Okay. So at BlizzCon this year,
BlizzCon
18, they had, a big event. Everyone travels from all around the world to come to BlizzCon. And everybody went bananas at the end of the show when they ended. Mind you, this is for the PC gamer. Okay, the PC master race. Okay, everybody here is a hardcore PC gamer. Okay,
right. That's their core audience.
That is their core audience. They ended a PC centric conference with a mobile game. Let that sink in. Wait. Let that marinate a little bit. Okay, let that marinate a little bit. A PC centric conference. Everybody here is a hardcore PC gamer. You ended with a mobile game, a new Diablo mobile game.
Yeah, Diablo Immortal is the name of the game. They tried to rep it like Bethesda repped the mobile version of Elder Scrolls, where yes, it's still going to be that same experience. Yes, it's still going to be a whatever.
Yeah, but guess what? Bethesda ended their conference with a look at all the actual games that they're going to do for the next gen.
Right. They're like, yeah, here's this, but also, right. Yeah,
they didn't end the conference with a mobile game.
Yeah, right? So I understand people being visibly upset. People wanted Diablo 4. Diablo 3 only got one expansion.
In Diablo 4, let's not kid ourselves. That's in development. Like that has to be in development. They
did say they have multiple Diablo projects in the works. One of those was the port for the Switch, which is going to do real well. Which I have to say, fans were very lukewarm on the fact of Diablo coming to the console. Like, how is that going to work? And that turned out great. So, I'm not saying Diablo Immortal is going to be a game that everyone's going to jump in on. But it's going to have microtransactions, and it's probably going to do well from a casual gamer standpoint, right? Someone's going to see it in the store and look at it and go, hey, So I don't necessarily think it was the best move for their fans at all, right? They should have had something a little bigger. They showed. Well, sorry, go ahead.
Well, they put the cherry on top, right? The icing on the cake. After this was over, they did a Q&A. Like, they did a Q&A.
Yep.
The Q&A went terrible because everybody kept asking, "Hey, I just want to ask: is Diablo Immortal? Is that a joke?
Like, is that like a late April Fool's joke?"
Are you ribbing us? Like the people literally asked that. They were seriously, and the guys on stage were baffled. Like, no, it's real. No, it's coming to mobile, guys.
Yeah.
All you PC gamers, take out your phones.
Yeah. And if you were following Activision, the parent company stock, it tanked the next day. It did like real bad. It went down a bunch of points and whatnot. So, it's definitely not good for them. It may be good for them in the long run, right? Because we do know free to play games are a huge moneymaker, right? Because people are real they're real obsessive and whatnot, and they just kind of get hooked in this thing. And you're going to come up against the wall. You're going to come up against the monster you can't beat. And you can pay $2 to get this awesome weapon that'll kill them in one shot. And, people are going to do that, So,
nice.
I don't know.
All right. We're going to talk about microtransactions.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move over to Ubisoft.
Oh, boy.
Okay. So they had a little mini controversy. Sticking with controversy. We got another controversy story after this, too.
Yeah.
Ubisoft accidentally were in Just Dance. I love my Just Dance games. I always buy them for the Wii and the Wii U. I keep buying for the Wii and Wii U. I'm just waiting for them to stop making them so I can have the last game made on those systems.
Right.
In kids mode, keep in mind, kids mode, it kept prompting the kids to buy subscriptions. Like, hey, you want to play this song? You have to buy a subscription. And everybody, people are up in arms over this. It's like, it's in kids mode, right? Yeah. You're not supposed to be charging microtransactions, essentially, or subscription with kids mode.
I think this is new. Like the kids mode has more kid-centric songs and whatnot. And it kind of randomizes, the song selection and whatnot. I think you can go into that mode, but they mix in the ones you have to pay for with the ones that are free, right? And kids don't know. Kids just know I want to go and play that song, right?
And the subscription costs vary. I mean, it's $3 for a day, $4 for a month, and $25 for the year.
Yeah, $3 a day. That's ridiculous. And all kids know is $3 is less than $25, or $3 is less than $4, right?
Yeah.
The pricing tier is ridiculous.
So Ubisoft said that they're solving the issue. We don't know exactly what that means, but I would say they could be taking out those games that need subscriptions, filtering them out of the kids mode, right? I mean, that just makes sense. That should have never been there in the first place.
Of course.
For kids mode. So, all right, let's stick with controversial things. Last week, Nintendo sort of removed the Native American reference from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now, I have a unique perspective when it comes to this. When it comes to this story, because I am part Native American. Lumbee tribe, North Carolina.
Hey.
Okay. Lumbee with 2 E's. So when I first heard this story, I will say, I didn't really think nothing of it. I didn't, I know about the character. I had a death in the family this week. Plus, I was working and doing the game room. So everything's been disconnected. TV, internet, all that stuff. Well, not so much the internet, but I've been a little bit disconnected from the story. I was a little upset that Review Tech USA, love his YouTube channel, you should check it out. He had a whole video saying how this isn't a big deal. And again, when I first thought of it, when I first heard the story, I didn't think it was a big deal. And then I marinated on it and I thought about it. All right. Big shock, right? Someone didn't have a knee-jerk reaction. It marinated. I thought about it. And this is the Game and Watch. This character's from Game and Watch, which isn't a little before my time. I guess I was like 1 year old, 1 or 2 when it was phasing out.
Yeah, that was about the same. A wee child.
So, I mean, you were like 20 at that.
Sure, yeah. I was almost out of college.
Adult. You're a wee adult.
Out of college.
You're a young adult. And it's a character who came from the Game & Watch where you play as cowboys, shooting Indians who were trying to take over the fort, right? So it has a depiction of Native Americans being the bad guy and cowboys killing them being, the good guys.
Yep. I mean, it's Cowboys and Indians when it should be Cowboys and Native Americans, and two,
Yes, I am not Indian.
yeah, exactly.
Indians come from one place in the world,
right? So I mean, we've definitely come a long way from this, and two, this game you can only play as the Cowboys, right? There is no Native American defending their territory from the Cowboys coming in and whatnot. So
well, it's a product.
one-sided.
It's a product of its time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Product of its time. But when I thought about it, when I sort of formed an opinion of they need to take this out, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
The news already broke that they took it out.
Yeah.
So I give kudos for Nintendo for not dragging their feet. Right? They automatically within maybe 2 days said, "Don't worry, this is not going to be in the game."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very, very, very quick. You know, they got ahead of it. They got ahead of it right away. And I don't think Nintendo was trying to do anything. Trying to kind of incite anything and like this and that. They're just like, look, we have this game. It's a part of history and whatnot. This is what the game is. This is his animation frame and whatnot. We're gonna include it for historical purposes.
Well, it's a disconnect from Japanese, the West and the East, right?
Well, that too.
I mean, look, remember the controversy with Street Fighter and Capcom when they had the intro where it was a white guy punching a black guy, right?
Oh yeah.
That was sort of the intro of Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
That's right. That's right. They ended up breaking through the brick wall, and then they
Yeah, and I mean, just look at the sexuality, in a lot of Japanese games in Japan that don't come out, that don't get translated here,
right?
Or because they're censored, highly censored. So it's just a different culture over there, and they don't understand. However, I think somebody from Nintendo America should have saw that and caught that before that even came out.
Yeah, right.
But they, you know what? I understand. They can't catch everything. Sometimes something slips through the cracks, and I'm not gonna penalize them for that because they rectified the situation. So if anything, I'm giving them kudos.
Yeah.
All right, now let's stick with Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. We heard about their DLC that's coming out that I will buy day one. I will buy the Fighters Pass for $25.
Right. Yeah. You're going to get your money's worth out of it.
I know I'm going to get my money's worth. I hope so. And there were going to be 5 fighters, and in each fighter you'll have a custom stage and music.
Yep.
So that's what you get for your money. $5.99 if you want to buy them, a piece. So we don't know who those fighters will be, but Nintendo knows. Sakurai pretty much said, "I know who the fighters are. Please stop asking me." He pretty much said, "Stop asking him. Stop giving suggestions. We already know who they're going to be. They're not ready yet. They're still working on them, right? So at this point in November, the game is done. So right now they're working on the DLC. It makes sense. And he pretty much said, there were suggestions made, and he has to come up with the moveset, and if it can be done, and if it can be done right. And so they're already set. Question is, Dave, who do you think they are? Who would you like to see? Who would you like to see?
I mean, there's definitely a lot of people that I like to see. This is 2 very different questions. I'm going to assume that they're going to be tie-ins.
Banjo. I
mean, maybe. That would definitely
maybe that leak wasn't fake at all. It was just to throw us off the scent. It really is Banjo and Gino.
And it's not that far. Well, yeah, I mean, Gino certainly could too. And Nintendo and Square have definitely made nice, especially recently. We talked before about all the Final Fantasy games that are coming to the Xbox that are on the Switch or about to drop on the Switch. So Gino is definitely a possibility. Banjo too. It lend a lot of credence to your N64 Mini, right? Making inroads like that. But who I think is going to be in there? I mean, you're probably right. Banjo is probably pretty high on the list. I think they're going to be characters that tie into games that are coming out, or games that have recently dropped. So they get that tie-in, they get the cross promotion going, and then you can play as
Crash Bandicoot activated.
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
Well, it has to be okay. It has to be something people are willing to pay for, right? Keep in mind, people have to spend at least $5 to $6. Oh, $6.
That's true.
$5.99 for it. So
it's a little bit. I mean, even if you're getting a stage with the two, it's a little pricey.
And the music. Well, you're really probably paying for the royalty for the music.
I guess. Yeah. I guess if it's not a
right, because
Nintendo
say it's
game.
Banjo, right? Say it's Banjo. You are paying for the licensed music and stage.
True. That's true. I don't.
And they made it a point. They made it a point to say when you buy the character, you're not just buying the character, you're buying the music and the stage because the licensing.
Sure. I honestly couldn't tell you who I would want in the game because everybody I want is pretty much in the game. There's nobody I'm saying like I'm crossing my hands and I'm like, I really want. I can't even think of somebody who.
Can I give you my 5? Can I give you my 5 then?
Oh, please.
I'll give you my 5 and you tell me. You let me know what you think.
Okay.
So I've already given you 2. So it's I think Banjo.
Banjo and Gino. Mm-hmm.
Banjo and Gino. All right. Mm-hmm. So they're going to pay for that. You're going to pay for the royalties for the Super Mario RPG music and stage likeness, right? Mm-hmm. Assets. And you're going to pay for Microsoft, the Rare music and assets. So I got those 2. I think Goku could be a realistic one. I mean, Goku's already
awesome, right?
Goku, everybody's dream match is Goku versus Ryu, and Goku's already going to be in Jump Force, and he was already in the Dragon Ball game that just came out earlier this year, right? So I can see him being, a character, maybe the last character, right? Because the DLC is going to come out sporadically until February of 2020. Mm-hmm. So at that point. The Dragon Ball game will be old. It'll be 2 years old, right? Because it came out January of this year. Right. So, and then we have Jump Force, where he's going to be the blue hair Goku. And I apologize for all the Dragon Ball fans. I don't know the actual name. It is 100% on my bucket list or my to-do list. Okay, to-do list. To watch the Dragon Ball series, the Super Dragon Ball series. Okay.
Oh yeah, I hear very good things about it.
This winter, it's on a break right now, so I definitely have time to catch up with all 100 episodes. I think it's like 105 episodes I've missed, and I still haven't seen the movie. I haven't seen the movie. I got to see the movie.
Oh yeah. Dragon Ball F or something, I think.
Yeah, and then the Broly movie looks awesome. The Broly remake looks awesome. It's coming out in January. So. I definitely need to catch up before I see the Broly movie. So I will binge watch it one of these blizzards. Definitely want to see that. So I can see maybe Dragon Ball, Goku coming out, maybe the last one in February 2020, right? Because Jump Force will be old. Because that will come out. I think it's coming out in the spring of next year. Yep. So that'll be a few months old. And like I said, the Dragon Ball game will be old because that came out in January of this year, so it'll be 2 years old at that point. So Goku could be fresh, right? He could be fresh. Oh, we could have him versus Ryu, and that makes sense. And him versus Ken, and him versus Mario, and him versus Link. So I could see that. So those are 3 characters I definitely want to see. My other 2 characters,
right?
I want to see Waluigi. I want people to be happy. Okay, everybody wants.
That's the ultimate troll. That is the ultimate troll. You have Wario. Like, why not put Waluigi in there?
He's an assist trophy, so he's in the game. He's in the game.
Is, yeah. You got to move him up to the spotlight.
Arms. I would have said I want to see Arms. Arms like Spring Man.
Oh yeah. But do we not have any Arms characters?
He's an assist trophy.
He's an assist trophy.
He's a Spring Man. Wow. Spring Man's an assist trophy.
Spring Man, and Ribbon Girl. You know what? That is almost a guarantee. Because that's it's a brand new property. It's a little bit of cross promotion. Right, they're making an Arms too. It's got to be in development.
But they're an assist trophy. So
at the moment they are.
They are. I don't think they'll move them over. I think Waluigi would be a special. I think it would be sort of like a special thing that they're moving him from an assist trophy to an actual character.
But like Springman, right? I think if it does happen to end up being DLC, that would kind of make sense because I'm sure his punching mechanics, like, because it's a giant ribbon that like comes out of him, like, yeah, it's probably going to take a little bit to kind of work all that out.
I want to say Master Chief.
Oh my God. Yeah, right.
I want to say Master Chief just because I'm sure they'd be like, if I was Microsoft, right? If I was Microsoft, I would say, all right, I'll give you the rights to Banjo. I want Master Chief in here.
Yeah, right. Wouldn't be the first time. Wouldn't be the first time a Spartan soldier was in a fighting game.
That's true.
They had a crossover with Dead or Alive 4. You could play not as Master Chief, but you could play as another Spartan. I forget her call sign, but I know it was a female Spartan. It's very, very, very interesting. You like throw down like plasma grenades as like a special attack. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that happening, but I don't think they're gonna go for the Master Chief thing. I need a fifth character.
Yeah, right. It's tough. It's tough. What do you do?
Who would you pick?
Mm-hmm.
I could go for Vegeta. So it could be.
There
Goku
you go. Well, yeah, right. You have the hero. You got to have the villain.
You got to have the villain. Right?
Well, here's an interesting thing on that. If you're gonna have the hero, you got to have the villain. If you're gonna have Cloud, you got to have Sephiroth. All right. Have the titular villain of Final Fantasy VII. That would be badass.
That's true. We could do that.
That would be badass, right? And I think that is a strong possibility, right? Because we already have Cloud, so we have that. It's like, hey, why not also just bring in one of the best villains?
Well, I'm gonna go with, because Shovel Knight's already an assist trophy,
right?
So I'm gonna go with Mighty Gunvolt.
Oh, hey, there you go.
I'm gonna go with Mighty Gunvolt. I think that could be a sleeper character that could be on here. And listen, I love the Gunvolt games. Right, so I really love the Gunvolt games. I can see that happening. That's gonna be my fifth character.
There you go. Interesting. I am very interested. I think we are both very interested to see what the new DLC is going to be, and they will be coming in the new Nintendo Directs, most guaranteed, right?
Not anytime soon. I think we'll find out.
No. I mean, it's not going to be till next year, easily. But you figure like February, March, like we're going to get some announcements.
All right, let's stick with Nintendo. And it looks like, we talked about this a while ago, where there was a leak that Nintendo was working on the next Zelda game, right? Breath of the Wild 2.
Electric.
According to Dave, right?
Breath of the Wild 2. That was all you who flubbed that. I'm sorry.
That was you. It wasn't me. It was you. I just went with it because I didn't want to make you feel bad.
Did you?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we got to go back to the tapes on that one.
Go back to the tapes. But now there was actual job posting listing for the next Zelda-related project.
Not specifically. It doesn't specifically say, next gen AAA full title, but do you think it could possibly be?
It's safe to say I think this is going to be the second mainline Zelda game on the Switch.
You think it's going to be that and not like a mobile incarnation of Zelda?
No, I don't think so. I'll tell you why. On mobile, they're ramping up for that Mario Kart game, right? And they're going to make a lot of money on that Mario Kart game from mobile.
Sure. Mario
Kart, I think, is one of the top selling games on the Switch still, right? And
it's fantastic.
And that's a port.
It is. That's right. It's a port of a Wii U game that nobody played.
Everybody loves Mario Kart. Right?
Yeah,
I think
Mario Kart.
The best selling game on the Wii U. They've said from day one that they made this engine for the Wii U and they sort of switched it over to the Switch, but they made this engine with making 2 Zelda games in mind, right? So the engine is specifically sort of coded for the Wii U, which they made changes to make it for the Switch. I think they're not going to change the engine because they spent so much time and money and effort in making an engine, right? And I'm sure they switched it over. Right. No pun intended.
There it is.
They switched it over to work with the Switch. I don't think they want to waste that. I think they want to get all they can out of that engine and make one more Breath of the Wild style game, right? Where we got Majora's Mask, right? After we got Ocarina of Time, I think we're going to get in that same vein. We're going to get this console's Majora's Mask.
Sure. It'll save you on development time. You don't have to build the whole new engine, and you get more money out of your like big investment. So
It'd probably be a little bit. It'd probably be a little bit more linear, where you have a specific goal in mind, right? And the story's going to be all over the place.
What a less like open world like the last one was.
Yeah, I mean, it's still going to be open world, but it'll be a little bit more. The story will be a little bit more like in Breath of the Wild. You don't know anything, right? And you have to find yourself in what's going on and what you have.
Yeah, it really kind of reveals over time.
Yeah, on this, I think it would be a little bit more. This is the story. This is what you need to do, and you have to actually just go do it. Mm-hmm. So it just makes sense, and I think this would be the big 2021, 22 game, right? This is going to happen later in the life cycle of the Switch, where we're gearing up for Switch 2. Or the Super Switch right. Pro. All right. So I think that's what we're gearing up towards. Mario Brothers. I did not know that you never saw the Mario Brothers movie from 1993.
I know.
I'm still in shock.
Starring Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo. Yes, I've never seen this movie.
Wow.
I've never seen this movie. I know everything about this movie. I have essentially seen this movie, but I have not actually seen this movie.
I had the displeasure of seeing this in the movie.
So, of course. When I was everyone's like, oh, it's Mario Brothers. I want to see it. And oh, no. Oh, it was so bad.
It was so bad that it was so good.
Yeah. Dennis Hopper plays King Koopa. And he plays a dude who is King Koopa, who has some dinosaur-like attributes.
Listen, spoilers.
It's weird.
He turns into a dinosaur at the end. He turns into King Koopa, the dinosaur, at the end of the movie. Okay,
oh my God.
And Toad is spread out all over the place with little mushrooms.
Oh my God, that's insane. I'll tell you this. I do know that Bob Hoskins, rest in peace. He had no clue what he was doing the whole entire time he was filming.
It was in development hell. I mean, they switched directors, and it was like
a ton of times. Yeah.
This husband and wife director tandem that didn't go. They had arguments with the writers, and it was development hell. This movie should never even came out.
And this was like that weird time when Nintendo was just licensing out their brands to everybody.
We got the CDI games around that time too,
right? Right, had that failed CDI partnership, which was just atrocious. Feel free to, if you guys haven't seen any of the CDI Nintendo games, look them up online on YouTube. You will have a good time.
All right, so we got that, but we are getting a new animated movie from Illumination, Super Mario Brothers.
Illumination, the guys who did the Minions movies, I think, right?
Yep, Despicable Me and the Minions movies coming out. The new Mario movies coming out in 2022.
Yeah,
slated for 2022 release, and Miyamoto is directly involved.
Well, there it is. You have a competent animation studio, and the father of Mario and Luigi at the helm. This is good news, right? You know, I think.
Mario talk is my number one question.
Oh, he has to.
Maybe he'll be the silent protagonist where everyone else is talking for him.
I mean, that's a possibility. You know, they definitely have done movies like that. You know, they certainly have done silent movies. WALL-E, half of the movie WALL-E was silent. You know, which was crazy, and that was like a kids movie. So it certainly can be done in the right hands. You know. And
let's end the news on a sad note. Rest in peace to strategy guide publisher Prima. Or Prima, depending on where you are in North America.
You called them Prima, huh?
I was
always a Prima guy. Interesting.
You was a Prima guy? I was a Prima guy. Wait, you know what? More importantly, were you a Gaiden or Gaiden guy?
I was Gaiden. I now know that I am wrong. I now know that it is Gaiden, and I know it's Ryu, but I still call it Gaiden and Ryu.
Gotcha. Okay. I call it Ryu. I call it Ryu too. So I give you that.
I'll tell you this though. I call him Mario Segali because that's his name.
Oh my God!
It's a callback from last week.
All right. So rest in peace to strategy guides made by Prima.
Yeah,
they're shutting down after almost 30 years in business. Coming this spring, they will be discontinuing everything. Now, the last Prima strategy guide I got was for Samus Returns, the new one that came out for the 3DS.
Yeah, right.
So we are going all digital, my friends. It's going. It's happening. It's coming, no matter if you like it or not. It's coming. It's not going away totally. I don't think it'll ever go away totally. I think there will always be sort of special editions for collectors.
Yeah.
But just the norm of having these things physically is going away.
Right. Yeah. It's going to be kind of a very niche thing. It's an end of an era. It's a little sad. But yeah. I think that about does it. Now that I'm all sad, I'm gonna have to go play some Red Dead and make myself happy, right?
Well, you know what? If I want to make myself happy, Nintendo puts Mario Brothers World, okay? Nintendo Online. Make your brother happy.
Stan's favorite Mario game of all time.
The best Mario game of all time. With long levels.
Yeah.
Long levels.
You're right. Yeah, 96 different stages. Crazy. 96 stages in that game.
Long
levels. They're all awesome. But yeah, that's episode 139 in the books. I want to thank you guys profusely for listening and downloading and doing all the lovely interactions that you do. We definitely appreciate. If you want to interact with us, you can do so on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Vero at Rated G for Gamers. You can always email us at info@ratedgforgamers.com. Please rate and review us on iTunes. And so please listen, subscribe, and as always,
keep gaming.